I'm Dr. LuLu Shimmick. I will be your guide today for self-care and burnout, or self-care for burnout. So I'm a naturopathic physician and functional medicine practitioner and author. I just have a new book that is launching this month. You can go ahead and pre-order that, and I'll talk all about that at the end of our session together today. I'm also a botanical formulator, and what that means is I love to work with plant medicine, and I formulate all kinds of specific special remedies for my patients. And out of the Veterans Healing Farm where I work, I am the plant medicine director there, and I teach veterans all about how to use herbal medicine and aromatherapy in their everyday life. And I'm also a podcast host of my podcast, The Genetic Genius. You can find that on my website under podcasts, or you can go straight to Apple Podcasts and do a search for The Genetic Genius, and it'll come right up. And I have tons of different episodes with all different types of interviews based on diseases and dysfunctions in the body, different types of spiritual health. It's a great podcast. Of course, I'm biased, but I love it. And I'm the owner of Dr. Lu's Naturopathic Clinic, where I see patients online and virtually for telemedicine. And I really specialize in helping women. I do have men patients as well, but I really focus a lot with women's health, helping them regain hormonal balance and vitality by discovering the root cause of the dysfunction. Okay. So today's webinar is going to be all about self-care. So self-care has really transformed a lot over the past few years. I think as the stress level has accumulated and stress has kind of skyrocketed, especially over the past 15 months, we've really gone into this place of knowing what the word self-care means. But today we're going to be diving into the importance of it and how to really not only incorporate it daily, but really picking a one day that you're devoting every week. It's all about you, and so that's the importance that we're going to be diving into today. And, self-care really began as a way to encourage people to do more for themselves, right? Which is amazing. We need to have this time for introspection, for healing. The more that we have self-care for ourselves, the more that we can give to our friends, our family, our community. And it really helps us to tune into what we really need, right? As we tune out the outside world, we can tune in and tap in to what is inside us, what our true passion is, our true purpose, and what we really need from a health perspective. But somewhere along the way, it really became something people were forced to do, right? So, oh my gosh, I have to do this self-care so that I can be happy or get through my day. So it's really not that's not a place where we want to be today. We want to be focusing on things that bring you joy and bring you rest and relief and restoration. And I'm going to be talking about how you can do that. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with this idea of the quote unquote perfect self-care routine, you're not the only one, so don't worry. It's time to really take a step back and look at everything from a bigger perspective. And today we're going to be talking about the simple things you can do to really make it seem not so overwhelming, but still as important. And instead of focusing on having to fit it into your daily life, we're going to really focus on choosing one day. And when we have that one day a week where we're like, this is my day of self-care, it flows into the entire rest of the week. So why do self-care on Sunday? So today I'm going to be talking to you about choosing Sunday. You can choose another day of the week, but I feel like Sunday is a really good day, especially when we're coming from the American perspective. Most of us have that Sunday as a day off from work. Not all of us, but a lot of us do. So you don't have to pick Sunday, but Sunday is actually the perfect day to dedicate to yourself, since it's often that day of rest for many people. If you have another day of the week that is your typical day of rest, choose that and kind of substitute that in the presentation today. So you're often winding down from your weekend or your week, whether you've had this busy week at work, or you're just finally maybe even gearing up for your next week. So this is really the time to take advantage of the downtime, right? And add in some self care activities, right? So this is an activity with an S, activities to your routine. So when we start to think about the ways that self care can really incorporate into our more of our environment as a day where we're picking that day, it really kind of sets that pace and that space for the whole week ahead. And if you're a person that's more prone to stress and anxiety, this is really key. And the overwhelming piece, like I was talking about earlier, if you do have a lot of anxiety, this is where that overwhelming piece will start to kind of play in. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't schedule something into my life. My life is already so busy. But so we're going to take it one step at a time. And that's how you get that self care piece into your schedule. Okay, so setting up your weekly self care routine. How do we do that, right? First of all, look at this beautiful picture. If you haven't had time to go to the beach recently or even to the mountains, some type of nature, make sure you're scheduling that in this week as part of your self care routine. I'm going to be going to the beach in November and I can't wait. I just love the beach. I used to live at the beach and I miss it. No, I love the mountains, but I do miss the beach. Okay, so the first thing we want to figure out when is what your routine is going to be on Sunday, right? So whether you're picking Sunday, we're just going to go with that day, and then you're going to substitute the day if that's not the day of rest that you usually have. So don't forget that self care doesn't have to be done alone, right? Even though this is part, you're saying, this is my day of self care. I'm choosing this day to do my self care, but it doesn't have to be something that's solo. You can do self care with other people in your house or your friends or family. And what I like to do and recommend is to acknowledge that to your others, your friends and family, your BFF. Hey, let's go down to have a walk by the river. I'd really like us both to focus today on this is our day of self care, right? We're going to be nurturing ourselves, nurturing each other, and really diving deep into that self love. So if you have a busy house on the Sundays, you can still do this, right? This can be part of something. It's really that acknowledgement piece. When you voice that to others and yourself, then it starts to take precedent for other things. So, what you want to do is focus on your self care on Sundays, whether that means an hour during the day or changing the entire routine, right? And I recommend really starting simple here because you want to pick that day, pick the routine, and start implementing it in slowly. So again, you don't feel that overwhelmed. And think of Sundays as a reset day. So you've had this week, you've really been doing a lot of things during the week. Maybe you had some great accomplishments, some great bridges that you moved over. This is the time to reset. Think about your week ahead. Think about how you can move out of that place of burnout if you had this really busy week. How are you going to nurture your body, mind, and spirit to really move into that place of self love? When you not only get your planning done for the week, but you give yourself some time to relax and unwind, reset your body and your mind for another busy week. So, whatever type of scheduling system you use, whether that's a handwritten calendar or on your smartphone or on your iPad, computer, whatever that is, it's really important to put that into your schedule and set a reminder. Hey, this is your day of self care, self love. This is a time that you get to recharge that battery. So, how is it different from daily self care? So, what we're talking about is, we want to have that daily self care and what that looks like. Maybe your daily self care is for me personally, my self care is drinking a lot of water, making sure I'm getting my exercise in the morning, having a wonderful green drink for breakfast, and then having some meditation. So, that's how I start my daily self care. But now we're talking about what is this whole day, this one day where you're saying to yourself, this is my reset day. So, to put it simply, though, it's not that different from your daily self care. You still want to choose activities that help you to relax, to wind down, to reset that burnout button. And they're good for your body and mind and overall wellness. And so you want to pick activities that you already know that are recharging and not draining for that burnout. You think if you're burning the candle at both ends, it's not going to help. You really want to be picking something where that candle is lit and staying lit. So You might have a little more free time on Sundays, which is why Sundays is such a great day. So you won't feel as pressured to fit it all in before or after work or during your bedtime routine. You don't want to be like trying to cram in your self-care right before you go to sleep, because that will seem overwhelming, and then you will also feel defeated, right? You'll have that self-judgment come in and you're like, oh, I couldn't do it. I'm just going to not do it. I'm not going to, not maybe say I'm not going to take care of myself. That's not the thing we want to say, but you're going to say, well, that didn't really work that time. I really can't do this, right? So don't want to have the defeatist model. You want to have the model of total like, I can do this, right? This makes me feel good. And Sundays open up that new possibility for self-care, whether again you do it alone or with your family or with your BFF. So think about your current Sunday routine. So, here's the clipboard here with the checklist. What are you currently doing? Like myself, Sundays is usually a day where I kind of like, do all the things I haven't had time to do for during the week. But then I make sure that I'm getting that self-care day scheduled in so I don't end up spending my whole day doing errands or cleaning the house or going grocery shopping. And then I actually kind of put those into other times during the week, so Sundays becomes more of a self-care. So in order to turn your Sunday into weekly self-care day, you need to consider what you tend to do on Sundays, right? So what does that look like for you? Are you a shopper? Do you go hiking? Do you go to the mall? Do you read a book? Do you watch a movie? What does that look like? And this self-care or this self-reflection helps you really to determine if these are the things that can only be done on Sundays. You're like, okay, well, I probably could do the shopping on another day of the week, or maybe I could get my food delivered. I do that. I in Asheville, where I live, we have a wonderful service called Mother Earth, and I get that delivered. And it has all the local produce and groceries that I need for the week. And then I'm contributing and helping the community by purchasing local foods. And I love that. So that really took off a whole part of my shopping because now I can do it that way. So that's a wonderful, little thing you can do in your area if it's available. And this self-reflection can really help you determine again, what types of things can you shift into another day or can be moved to another day to give you time for yourself, right? Scheduling that self-care in. And you it might take a little bit of adjustment, right, with your own schedule, but also with your family schedule. So make a list first of everything you do every Sunday, that normal routine that you're already in. Then look at that list. Okay. And then cross off anything that isn't really necessary or might no longer be serving you. Like, okay, well, I don't really need to do this on Sunday. I can move it to another day. This probably is part of my self-care routine. Maybe you're like, okay, I do yoga for an hour with my husband every Sunday, and that's our self-care. Or you're like, maybe I go hiking with my girlfriend, so whatever that looks like to you. And then, so we want to determine if any of those activities can be moved to Saturday or another day during the week. Okay, so ideas for Sunday self care activities. Let's talk about what that looks like for self care. And of course, deep down what is the most nurturing for you, but sometimes it helps to have those ideas that really help decrease burnout. And what do I mean by burnout? Burnout really means, I mean, you probably know if you're experiencing it, but burnout means you don't have the energy, the time, or the love to do the things that you're so passionate about that bring you happiness and joy, right? You just feel like, oh, I have to do that. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do something else, right? You want to be able to do the things that really make you happy, that make your heart sing. So the good news is that self-care on Sunday is pretty much the same as what you would do any other day of the week. Yay, right? It's more about dedicating a day to yourself each week, especially if you don't have much time during the week to really focus on you. So, if you have a busy family or maybe you have a busy job, when it comes to focusing on you, maybe you don't have that time, or maybe you feel guilty about focusing on yourself. That's very common, especially from that female perspective, from that, we are nurturers. And so when we are taking care of others, that comes kind of first to us, right? But really, when we take care of ourselves, that's nurturing ourselves. And that's where that true love comes in. So here are some great activities that can be done on Sundays or your day of self-care. So let yourself sleep in. Don't set an alarm. Let yourself get the sleep that you need to really reset your body. And so I actually have a separate alarm on Sundays, but that alarm is not till 12 o'clock. I haven't ever slept in that long. I usually get up at 5:30 or 6, but I just set it. 'Cause I'm like, okay, if I really slept until 12, I must have really needed it. But if you're suffering from adrenal fatigue or you have a chronic illness, having that sleep in time is so key. It really will help you reset because we get the most healing and restoring at night. That's when our body really goes into that rejuvenation phase. Next thing, go to brunch with some friends, make a date. Like, hey, let's have a brunch every Sunday because I really want to spend my time with you. You help me realize how much I need to nurture myself, laughing and having a good time. Now, most of us are able to socialize with friends, whether that's on your back porch having a brunch or at the park or going out, taking that time to be with your friends because friends really help us see the reflection of who we are. Head to a park or the beach with your kids or go out on the trail. Take your kids and let them know, hey, this is a day that we are all focusing as a family on our nurture, on nurturing each other, nurturing ourselves. Talk to them about what that self-care means to you. Have an hour of pampering. Maybe you want more than an hour, but at least an hour. And that could be, what does that look like for you? That could be maybe you're taking a hot bath, or if it's hot right now where you are, maybe you're taking a cooler bath. Maybe you're doing a skin scrub. Maybe you're getting your nails done. Whatever that pampering looks, for me, I like to have a really nice dinner. That's my pampering time. Or I'll go to the spa. We have a detox center here in Asheville, a sauna house. So I'll go and I'll spend an hour just detoxing and sweating. And that is my great pampering time. So, what does that look like for you? Brainstorm it on a piece of paper or maybe with your family member. Like, hey, what are some things that you like to do? Maybe we could do those together. So, another thing is catch up on your reading or creative projects. If you've really been putting these, out to the side, this is a time because reading is very nurturing. And, you could even purchase my new book and but really, what type of reading is joyful for you that helps you to relax and takes your mind off of things that you might be worrying about and causing that burnout? And the last one there is get ready for the week. What prep can you do to help your week be so easy? For me, I like to plan out my menus on Sundays for the week. What am I going to be making? What am I going to be eating? And then I'll do some prepping of vegetables like for snacks because I'm busy. I'll do like, I'm going to prep some carrots and some celery. I'm going to make sure I have all my snacks ready. And then any prep I can do for my meals during the week, I get that ready. Sometimes I'll do some batch smoothies where I'll make a big thing of smoothies and I freeze it in separate containers where I can just take it out and I'm ready to go. So, what is that? Whatever that looks like for you, make sure you're getting prepped for the week. Okay, so let's talk about the difference in self care for introverts and extroverts because there is a difference there. So, self care for introverts, I love this picture here of this young woman reading on the couch. It's like, that's me. I love to read, and probably at this bookstore, I would totally be her and just chilling out on the couch. But I also like extrovert things too. But if you're an introvert, you probably find that you're most relaxed when you are alone. And we all need that time to be alone. Even if you're an extrovert, you do need to have that self-reflection time. And this doesn't mean you want to be or should be alone all the time, right? But that you often need a little bit of time to yourself each day to recharge that battery. So when we're talking about from self-care, from that burnout perspective, this is that key component to recharging, having that time for just you. And I really recommend spending at least 10 minutes meditating. And we're going to be doing a meditation today and 10 minutes every day. And I like to do in the morning to reset my day or, really focus on that and have myself be ready for the day ahead. So here's some things for the introvert. Have some quiet solitude on Sunday. So, self care for an introvert can be as simple as just making sure you have some alone, quiet time on Sundays. You need this time to yourself to regroup and relax. And it can be really hard when you go all day around other people and never give yourself this time, right? For me, I see patients all the time and I'm always talking with patients. So that my alone time is putting on some soft, quiet music and really not talking so I can recharge my communication, my thyroid, and really looking inward and reflecting and meditating because I really have to have recharge of my battery. So if you're watching this and listening to this and you're a healer or a self-care provider, this is really important for you to have this quiet and the solitude. Find nature inspired activities. That's what I was talking about before. Forest bathing, being out in the forest and smelling the trees and the flowers, or being in your garden, going to the beach. Introverts also tend to enjoy time outdoors. We need this rechargeability, rechargeable time. And again, in a quiet and peaceful environment, right? Try to find some activities you can participate in that will encourage you to spend more time outside. If you're in an area right now where that is a little bit tense still because of COVID, just try to find an area, even creating maybe on your balcony where you could have lots of plants, or in on your porch, where that you can create that outdoor environment in an inside way. And in the winter, as we get, colder, you still want to have that outdoor environment in the inside. So embrace your creative side. An amazing way to practice self care as an introvert is to do something creative. That's learning how to crochet, or writing a poem, writing a book or short story, coloring in an adult coloring book. Start painting, whatever, create a song, write some music, do some dancing. Embracing that creative side engages that second chakra, which is really about that energy and that creativeness that helps ground us to the earth and helps to recharge the battery. So, self care for extroverts. So, extroverts are more social creatures, getting their energy from being around other people. Like this beautiful picture here of these women in the sunflowers, just they're laughing and having fun together as a group. And if you consider yourself an extrovert, you probably enjoy time with others more than time alone. But what does that mean for your self care routine, right? You're like, well, I don't really want to have that alone time. So, what does that look like? So, here are some tips for practicing self care when you are an extrovert. So, enjoy social time with friends. And like I mentioned before, having that time where you are scheduling time with your friends, that's really key if you're an extrovert. So what that might be a little bit more like up your alley, is scheduling that time with friends, whether that's a recurring date, like maybe you have a tea date with a friend, or a walking date, whatever that looks like. Scheduling it into your calendar so that it's always coming up regularly, and you're enjoying that time with friends. And really, like, what better way to practice self-care than spending time with those that you love the most? So, volunteer time, it can be really meaningful when you volunteer time. And now we're moving kind of like back into that space post COVID, where that's more much have we have much more ability to volunteer our time, and it's really needed right now because there's a lot of places that need help. So you might like to look for volunteering, like at the farm that I work at, the Veterans Healing Farm. If you're looking for a place to volunteer, we're always looking for help with gardeners and people in the herbal medicine garden working with me. Looking into your local community, wherever you are, like animal shelters or community centers, or whatever really sparks your inner heart, right? You're like, oh, yeah, I would love to help there. Um, Look for ones that are open on Sunday that could need your help, and go volunteer for an hour or two, whatever fits in your schedule. Join a local club. So, another social activity that helps with your self care is joining a local club, like a book club, something that nurtures your inner spirit. And not only will you be encouraged to read more, which is key for engaging the brain, really helps with burnout because our brain can get brain fog and fatigued. So, using the brain in a way that is helpful, right? It's not a one that is taxing to the brain, you can really start to do that with a book club. And there's ones you can do online or in your local community. Just ask a friend or ask on Facebook or Instagram. Look for one. I like Literati. That's the one that I'm in. I love the books, and you can engage in an online way. I really like that. Okay, tips for your Sunday self care routine. So, what does this look like? It encompasses the emotional, the mental, and the physical health. We want to talk about the holistic model, the whole spirit, when we're talking about self care. And self care does not fulfill just one need in your life, right? We have those three needs, or we have the mental, the spiritual, the physical. We have many needs. And when we're talking about self care, needing that love is a huge component. And different activities provoke different benefits in your life, and including helping with your emotional, mental, and physical health. So, what works best for you is going to be something that helps you feel relaxed, de stressed, improves your mood, and is something you absolutely love to do. This is what I was talking about earlier. What you know, what makes your heart sing, and what you need. So, listen to that, tap into it. It's really key here. So your self-care needs can change regularly depending on your life, right? So we all have different things in our environment that change, whether that's our work schedule, our family, everything is changing in our environment. So your self-care needs to reflect that. And just because you've committed to writing in your journal and meditating every morning for an hour, that is a lot. I would recommend doing, less than that. Maybe that's just like 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how you can adapt that into your schedule. It doesn't mean you have to do this forever, right? This can totally flux, and it should. Tune into what makes you feel good. For me, sometimes my self care looks like turning on fun dance music and having a dance party, whether that's solo or with my friends and family. And sometimes what you choose as your self care activity changes. This is very key. Or you need to make adjustments based on your schedule. You're like, maybe the whole day changes because you're like, well, I can't really fit this into my schedule now. I got to do it on a different day. So be flexible. Having that flexibility really will help you with self care, because something might come in that really resonates with you. And revisit what you're doing for self care often. You're like, is this really recharging my burned out battery? Do I need to shift things up? Is there something I could add in or change? How's my nutrition? How's my sleep? How's my water? How's my exercise? How's my pampering? All of that. And as your life and the seasons change, so will your self care and what is actually going to benefit you the most. So sometimes, in the summer, we need a different type of self care as we need in the winter. We need that really like nurturing and warming. And then in the summer, we need more like maybe more like effervescent and outside and cooling activities. So, a common mistake is forcing your self care. That's exactly the opposite of what I want you to get out of this webinar tonight. This can't be said enough. So, your self care routine should not make you more stressed. That increases burnout, right? So, this is a sign that you're forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do. And that is doing nothing for you. Actually makes things worse. So, it might be because your friend is participating in this form of self care, or you read that it's a good idea. You're like, hey, that sounds like I might want to do it. My friend's doing it. Well, it might not be the best for you, or maybe it's too forceful. So remember, everyone is different and everyone is going to benefit from different things. So, again, what resonates to you? Okay, great. Now I'm going to shift over and we're going to do a really wonderful meditation for a quick dose of self love to start your day. So I'm just going to switch over here. And I'm going to put on some wonderful music, and then I'll switch back to, okay, there's our music. And then I'm going to switch back and put on the sharing the screen. Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is a meditation for a quick dose of self love to start your day. You can do this meditation at any time that resonates with you. Okay, I'm going to turn down. I want to turn down the music just a little bit. Excuse me. We'll get back to our meditation. Here we go. All right. Let's get back to here. Okay, perfect. All right. So, welcome to this affirmation practice for cultivating self love. So, thank you for being here today. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to really start nurturing yourself. These affirmations are designed to help you find a new language to connect with yourself. To connect with your true self. That self which is perfect, soft, and full of love. This is a simple practice. I'm going to say these affirmations and you're going to repeat them after me. You can say these affirmations out loud or whisper them or repeat them silently in your mind. Whatever feels best to you today. So let us take a moment to settle into the space. You are here now, safe, supported, and comfortable. Whether you're seated or lying down, know that you are held. Gently close your eyes and let your awareness travel to your body. Notice if there is any tension that you're holding in your body. Notice your shoulders, your face, your jaws. Release any tension that you're holding in your body back to the earth. Now take your awareness to how you're feeling at this moment. If there are any worries or thoughts, allow them all to just be. You are okay. Now taking awareness to the breath, breathe into your body. Deep breath in. Feel your belly rising. And a deep breath out with a long sigh. And then 2 more times. Deep breath in through the nose. And deep breath out from the mouth. Feel yourself relax with every breath. Deep breath in, filling up your belly. And deep breath out, letting everything go. You feel completely relaxed. And now returning to the natural rhythm of your breath, Simply notice the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you breathe, feeling the light of love fill up your heart. If it feels comfortable, rest one hand gently on your heart. Allow yourself to take this time for you. While you are here, if at any time thoughts arise, don't judge yourself. Simply bring your awareness back to the sound of my voice. So let's begin. I love myself. I love me. I love myself unconditionally. Loving myself means that I take care of myself. I listen to my needs. I do the little things that give me joy. Every day, I do something for myself. Every day, I give time to myself. I prioritize my needs. Self-care is not selfish. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is the purest, truest form of love. I take care of my body. I nourish and nurture my body. I do my best to get enough rest and sleep. I take care of what I put inside of my body. I love and appreciate my body. This body that carries me through my life. I am grateful for my body. This body through which I experience life. I am kind to this body. I love my body unconditionally. I take care of my mind. I nourish and nurture my mind. I do my best to stay in the present moment. My breath helps me to anchor myself to the present moment. Whenever I feel stressed or tense, I know that I can come back to my breath. This breath will help me find this moment. I take care of my heart. I find joy and peace in my heart. I find love and compassion in my heart. My heart is full of love. I can feel the love for myself in my heart. I can feel the compassion for myself in my heart. I am connected to my heart. I listen to my heart. There is forgiveness in my heart. There is happiness in my heart. I release everything that I hold against me. I free myself from guilt. I free myself from any inhibitions. I accept who I am. This is the real me. And this real me is beautiful. This real me is worthy. I am worthy of happiness. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of health. I give myself the gift of love. The love I have been looking for is inside me. All the love that I need is inside myself. This love is mine. I can give it to myself at any time. Whenever I need love, whenever I need compassion and support and courage, I have all of these inside me. I trust myself to take care of me. I trust myself to always be there for me. I am my strength. I am me. And this me is the one that I love. I love myself. I love myself. And now I'd like you to stretch your arms out and then surround yourself and give yourself a big hug and say to yourself out loud, if you can, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself so much. And when you're ready, begin to return to your body, wiggling your toes and fingertips, feeling the solid ground beneath you, beneath your feet, or beneath your body. May this love stay with you today and always. And when you're ready, you can start opening your eyes and come back to the present. Okay, let's get back to our webinar here, our PowerPoint, and we're going to wrap up our session for today. I hope you loved that beautiful meditation of self-love, and you will have that audio recording separately, and so you can link up to it at YouTube anytime and watch it and download it or watch it. It will have video with it, but you can also listen to it, especially during those times of the week, that special self-care day. It's a great time to tune in, and it's a short meditation. It's only 10 minutes, really easy. All right. So I want to say thank you all so much for attending today and taking this special and precious time out of your day to learn about self-care for burnout. And if you're ready to really de-stress and reset your system, think about how amazing your body, mind, and spirit could feel with even more nourishing food and healthy habits. And if you're ready to love your body and you're in and feel better than you have in years, it's really time to try my proven system, because I have tested them many times myself and my patients, of course. It's worked for me and countless clients and patients, and I know it'll work for you too. So if you're ready to dive deeper into a mindset program that takes your health, life, and energy to the next level, join me for my DIY week, 5-week mindset reset course. And it's only $33 for attendees for tonight's webinar. It's a great price. You can use coupon code mindset reset, and you can visit my website at doclulu.com /mindset reset course. And if you can't find that, it's super easy to go to my website at doclulu.com, and you can go to the programs and webinars tab, and then it'll be right there at the bottom of the page. And I also will send this out to you tomorrow, so don't worry. Okay, so here's a little bit more information about the course. If you're really struggling with stress and burnout, and this series is going to help you to recognize the signs and give you all the information you need to get through this phase, right? We're really moving now from a place of stress, because we've had that stress over the past 16 months with the pandemic. We're really moving into this phase of resetting. And so what you're going to learn in this workshop, you're going to learn about stress and burnout and overwhelm, the role lifestyle factors play, the changes to reduce stress and overwhelm, and then also natural healthy remedies for alleviating chronic stress and more. It starts on August 1st, but you can also join at any time. It's a DIY, so it's not going to go away. You can sign up and you can just go at your own pace. And there's the link again. So if you're ready to set are you ready to set up your self-care routine, right? That's what we've been talking about today. If you don't feel like you're ready for the mindset reset course and you want to connect in with me, schedule a free discovery call to find out how you can achieve optimal health today. So you can go straight to my website and book it there at doclulu.com, and make sure you're following me on Instagram. I have tons of great information about health tips and webinars. I do a free webinar almost every Wednesday. So if this is your first one, welcome. You can also access all of the past webinars on YouTube and also on my website with all the great handouts. It's a wonderful resource. Also, there's free recipes on my website and meal plans. My goal is really to empower you to take charge of your health by giving you all the resources you need. So, and stay tuned for some more upcoming programs. I'm going to have a hormonal health program in the summer or fall, and then the gut restoration program fall or winter. I can't believe it's July already. So, those will be coming soon, though. So, keep an eye out. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending tonight.